Following consultations by the Parliamentary Joint Committee on Defence and Internal Affairs on the 2026 Sovereignty Protection Bill, today was the set day for its second and third readings. Ahead of the plenary sitting at 2 p.m, a heavy deployment of multiple security agencies was observed around Parliament.
We have had security issues, security threats around Parliament, and usually when that intelligence is obtained and passed on to the clerk, he requests security agencies to accordingly deploy to put a fortress around Parliament for the safety of members of Parliament, staff, and even you who actually access the building. So this is routine. I am sure this is not the first time you're seeing this. It has happened a number of times. And also, whenever there is any inconvenience that the public has to endure as a result of restrictions on using these roads around Parliament Avenue, the DPC of Parliament is responsible for most of the roads around Parliament in terms of traffic coordination and deployment.
Access routes were barricaded and strict security checks were enforced at all entry points.
The restrictions on the roads are solely because security has advised that they actually are made in good faith to give members of Parliament the right atmosphere of peace and tranquility to legislate. You know, legislation should be done in an environment which conduces to free expression of the opinion of members of Parliament and how they look at specific issues before Parliament.
Members of Parliament underwent thorough screening before accessing the premises, while pedestrians were also closely monitored.
Any matter which comes on the floor of the House is resolved either by consensus or by a decision of the majority. So there is no fear. If members of Parliament unanimously enact the bill, that will be okay. But should there be a divergence of opinion, it is only resolved through putting the matter to vote and the majority carrying the day.
Some legislators expressed concern, saying that tight security measures may intimidate the public.
They came here 8 in the morning, these UPDF listening posts. But there are also faces that are unusual that I have seen in Parliament. So I am raising this procedure, Madam Speaker, seeking assurance from you that what happened the day we processed the Coffee Amendment Bill won't happen today.
There is no reason for the public to be apprehensive over this legislative process. It is a normal legislative process like any other. And as a society, as a democracy, I believe we have grown enough, even when we may not agree with what the legislature has done. The legislature is not the final institution that handles legislation. If you are dissatisfied, there's the option of going to court.
Unfortunately, I didn't see the deployment. Maybe because I came through the lift. They ran away from me. Hey.
However, others welcomed the deployment, describing it as necessary to prevent any disruptions during the reading of the bill.
Members of Parliament will legislate without fear because it is not the inclination of this presiding officer to act in an untoward manner. However, in the event that there are contentious issues in the House for which people on both sides are passionate about, it is important that whoever is passionate on either side expresses that passion with decorum, with respect, and upholding the values and traditions of the House. So there should be no fear that there is going to be anything extraordinary.
The deployment also coincided with the caucus meeting of NRM members of Parliament, where discussions on the sovereignty bill were held. Resolutions in support of the bill were reportedly reached. Rebecca Natongo, Gloria Guitabinji, Parliament.